I have recently started to wonder if my wife might be cheating, but I am not sure what to do from here. I have no concrete evidence, so I don't want to confront her or bring it up in case nothing is happening, or to avoid having her hide things better. It's just been small things and a gut feeling. About 4 months ago, she began working out more and became much more interested in her appearance. She is very attractive, but never really wore much makeup or styled her hair elaborately. She has also started being protective with her phone, which I know is a concerning sign. Normally, we freely use each other's phones, but now it never leaves her side, and if I ask to use it to take a picture, she tells me to use mine. She has also been staying late at work more often and has taken a few more out-of-town business trips. In the past 4 months, she hasn't initiated any intimacy and only gives me brief kisses. I tried to initiate a few times, and she either rejected me or was unresponsive during the act, which made me feel worse than an outright rejection. I brought up the lack of intimacy a while back, and she attributed it to exhaustion from being a mom, work, and working out. She promised to try to do better and kissed me that night, but nothing has changed. I've wondered if it might be some kind of midlife crisis. There's a guy at her work I suspect could be an issue. My wife used to talk about him a lot, but stopped mentioning him a few months ago, although I know they still work closely together. He is married with kids and has mentioned having marital problems. I met him briefly a few times, and he seemed to ignore me. He isn't as physically fit as me, but he dresses well, is outgoing, and likes to drink, which is something my wife occasionally wishes I would do. I graduated from high school, and he has a master's degree. He also earns significantly more than I do. I train fighters for a living, which I love, but it doesn't pay much. My wife believes I can earn more in a different field. She's not obsessed with money, but I understand her desire for financial security. Recently, my wife took a work trip to a tropical resort with just this colleague and the CEO. In my mind, I worry that she spent a lot of time with this colleague. I want to confirm my suspicions, but don't want to cause issues by accusing her without evidence. We've had a good overall marriage, despite a few ups and downs. A friend suggested I start gathering evidence discreetly, but I'm uncomfortable invading her privacy. If she is cheating, I can't imagine staying with her. I'm deeply involved in my kids' lives, and the thought of seeing them only part-time is heartbreaking. Any advice on how to handle this situation would be appreciated. Update. I accessed our cell phone account and noticed many late-night texts to a specific number. I plan to find out who the number belongs to. After discovering this, I felt emotional and upset. Last night, I tried to initiate intimacy, but she declined, citing tiredness and a headache. We discussed our connection, and she promised to improve, as she did previously. This morning, she mentioned a potential girls' trip to Vegas with college friends I haven't met. I'm starting to see a pattern, but I'm still unsure. I finally did some snooping and looked at the detailed cell phone records online. I noticed that there were texts to one number made in the middle of the night, amounting to hundreds. I called the number from a payphone, and it went to one of her coworkers, the one I suspected could be trouble. I managed to access her phone while she was in the shower, and found that the text conversation with this number was the one thing deleted. Also, that guy's number was saved under a female's name in her phone. I am now very worried about the out-of-town trips she took where this guy was present. I had to leave the house to cool off. I managed to compose myself enough to come home, but I don't know what to do from here. If I confront her with what I have, she will probably explain it away. I am uncertain whether I should try to gather more evidence quietly or confront her sooner. I am really angry. I am furious at her, but also feel a strong urge to confront the guy. It will take everything I have not to do that. I am worried that she might admit to inappropriate flirting, and I won't have enough evidence to get her to admit to everything. Any advice on when to confront her? I am planning to stay awake during the time she usually texts him, then interrupt her and ask who she is texting to see if she lies to me. Update. Last night, after everyone went to bed, I pretended to be asleep and waited to see if she would get out of bed to use her phone. Sure enough, a little after midnight, she got up and went into another room, closing the door behind her. I waited a few minutes, then quickly opened the door and walked in, saying I couldn't sleep and asking what she was doing. I caught her mid-text and stood over her too quickly for her to delete anything. I saw her slowly try to hide her phone. She said she couldn't sleep either and was texting a friend. I had a plan and immediately put it into action. I moved closer to her, started kissing her, and asked if she wanted to be intimate. As expected, she declined. So I began laughing and playfully tickling her, joking that she must be more interested in the friend she was texting than me. Then I playfully wrestled with her to get the phone. I could see the panic in her eyes. She tried to retrieve it, but I turned away, holding it out of reach, laughing and pretending to have fun. I told her I was going to call this friend and ask if she was interested in my wife. My wife exclaimed, "Please don't call her." I started walking away, pulled up the text messages, and saw one that read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." I pressed the call button, and after what seemed like an eternity, the guy answered. Unprepared for what to say, I just hung up. I then began reading the texts aloud in front of my wife, asking her why she was sending these messages to a guy at night. She said she didn't know. I asked if she had anything to tell me. She remained silent. Then I told her that I had seen the cell phone records and knew everything about her late-night texts with this guy. She started crying and apologizing. I remained calm. I explained that the next few minutes were crucial and that if she didn't tell me the complete truth, there would be severe repercussions. She admitted to flirting with her coworker, who was having marital problems, and said it escalated to flirting. She claimed nothing physical happened. My fear was that she would only admit to what I already knew. I told her that if she couldn't be completely honest, she needed to pack a bag and leave. She agreed, crying and apologizing. Before she left for her mother's house, she asked if I was going to leave her. I said we would discuss it later, as it was late. She left, and I haven't seen her since, though she has been trying to contact me, leading me to turn off my phone. My plan is to find a marriage counselor and make an appointment, pretending to want to work things out until I can use the counseling to help navigate the process of separation. I recorded the entire incident last night as a precaution, in case she tried to make false accusations. I checked with a friend, and he confirmed that recording in our state is legal. I don't believe she would make false accusations, but I want to be cautious, especially as an ex-fighter and trainer. Any accusation of abuse against me, given my size and background, could be devastating, particularly regarding custody of my children. Therefore, I plan to record all our interactions as a safeguard. I am completely heartbroken. My family is falling apart, and the thought of missing 50% of my children's lives is devastating. Although I suspected something, I am still in shock. The most challenging part is that this is just the beginning. I want to confront the other man, but need to control myself. He referred to me as the animal in one of the texts, and I know he's intimidated by me. Despite not having a college degree or a high-paying job, I pride myself on being intellectually curious and well-read. I may not be the smartest person, but I am certainly not unintelligent. I will try to update as things progress. At this point, I'm not sure what advice would help. I am just devastated. Update. I appreciate all the support I have received through this ordeal. I'm going through a lot right now and wish I had the time to respond to the advice and words of encouragement sent my way. To update, my attorney friend recommended a lawyer specializing in family law. Not only that, but this lawyer was also cheated on, and these cases allow him to exact revenge, according to what my friend said when recommending this lawyer. He will be very flexible with his fees and genuinely wants to help. Maybe this is a positive aspect. Now, onto the other side. My wife admitted to the affair. She told me it started as flirting, then turned into an emotional affair, but claimed it never became physical. I saw right through that, and she finally admitted it did turn physical, coinciding with the time she ceased intimacy with me. I received more details than I thought I could handle. It was a very passionate affair. To say this has really affected me would be an understatement of the highest degree. I am wrestling with my emotions and struggling to keep a thought in my head. I told my wife it would be best for her to stay with her mom for the time being, while I take care of the kids, ensuring they have stability at home. My attorney is working his magic in the meantime. Being in the house is a big advantage, according to him. I have also not told her that our marriage is over. She will find that out when she is served with the papers, which will be soon. I can't stop the intrusive thoughts of my wife and this man. I coach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for professional and semi-professional fighters and am trying to give them as much attention as I can. The physicality of my job has been helpful. Obviously, I am also focusing a lot on my kids. Outside of BJJ, my passion is learning about new topics. I normally read for a few hours each night to unwind, but lately I haven't been able to focus on even a paragraph. After seeing that they referred to me as a stupid animal, I can only imagine the other things they may have said. This situation has really affected me. I have always been a happy person, but the joy is just gone. On another note, since the word has gotten out about what happened, many people have offered to assist in any way they can. It's definitely comforting to feel supported. Several of my friends' wives have taken initiative, saying they know beautiful women who are interested in my impending single status. I won't be dating until this is all over, and probably not for a while after that. But knowing there are options out there is comforting. I think I will be okay. Right now, it's all about the kids. I will try to update soon. My wife is distraught and pushing to stay married. I know I can't get past what she did, so staying together would only delay the inevitable. Next update. Life has been chaotic, but I wanted to log back into this throwaway account and give an update on my situation. I had discovered my wife having an affair and also found out that she thought I was stupid and a loser for not earning a high salary. I filed for divorce, and it should be wrapped up next month. We will have 50-50 custody, and she will be paying spousal support since she out-earns me by a large margin. That's the current legal situation. Now, onto the other fallout. I am heartbroken, as are my kids. I never thought I would be a single dad, but here I am. My wife seems to be spiraling into some kind of depression. The man she cheated with decided that she wasn't worth the trouble. From what I am told, she has started drinking and going out with a lot of random men that she meets online. There have been more than a handful of times where she called me and begged me to take her back so she can have her old life back. Part of me wanted that, but I have stayed strong. After she found out how much money she will have to pay me every month, that seems to have made her angry towards me. So, I don't have to worry about her calling. My kids don't understand. Every second they aren't with me, I feel miserable. I am also lonely all the time. I haven't spent much time with friends and mostly just stay home. The girl that works at a coffee shop I frequent even asked me if everything was okay because I looked sad. I guess I am not hiding it as well as I think. There are people I know who want to set me up with women they know, but I don't want to do it because I feel like I am branded as the guy whose wife cheated on him. It has been so long, I have no idea how to date. I had a few fighters do really well on a pretty public stage, and that has been the only spark I have felt in a long time. I really don't know what I will do next. At some point, I need to snap out of it and move on. I just haven't reached that level of motivation, though. I did have somebody I know get in contact with the other man's wife and show her the proof I had. I just couldn't live with nothing happening to him. I am not allowed to go after him, so this was the next best thing. She didn't believe it at first, but then I heard about there being major marriage issues for them. As far as I know, they are together but on the rocks. I have a lot of anger over everything. It is crazy to think how life can be fine 1 minute, then completely upside down the next. One positive thing that has happened is that I met a girl through some friends that I am interested in. I haven't asked her out or anything though. She is stunningly beautiful, but is about 14 years my junior. I don't know if that's a major issue, but it is a pretty big age gap. Given what I have been through, I think my confidence has really been dinged. I feel like she is too attractive for me. She might actually be, I suppose, but I have been thinking about her a lot. So that's been the last half year of my life. I have to say, it has been the worst I have ever felt. I have always been a very happy person, but I just feel dark and gloomy now. Final update. Long story short, I found out my wife was cheating on me with a coworker, and then I divorced her. Having been with her for about 15 years, saying my new life has been an adjustment would be an understatement. I do have moments of sadness or loss, but those are fleeting. For the most part, I feel great. My kids are doing well and are with me a lot. After the divorce, my wife had to take on more accounts at work to pay for her new single living situation, as well as spousal support to me. She earned a lot more than I did. When the pandemic hit, I had a flexible schedule, so I was able to keep the kids with me and do homeschooling. Since my job involves physical contact with others, the pandemic has slowed that down. There aren't many opportunities for my guys right now. So, in a way, it's been like I'm a stay-at-home dad. I took some time to myself after the whole ordeal. The younger woman I was interested in took a long assignment with her company in Europe. We stayed in touch through technology. After her assignment ended, she came back, and we have been together ever since. She loves me and my kids. She is an extremely compassionate and considerate person. Before we were introduced, I was told that there was an amazing woman resembling Wonder Woman, and that she was the nicest person you could ever meet. I thought it was too good to be true, but she is absolutely the real deal. I think there will probably be some next steps in our relationship soon. Things for my ex have not really worked out. She started drinking and hooking up with random guys she met online. Having to take more accounts has also taken a toll on her. Just in the last few years, she looks like she has aged 15 years. She was always pretty, but the last time I saw her, she looked ragged, as if her life force was depleted. A weird thing to say, but that's what it looked like. Her best friend told me that she is miserable and hard to be around. I don't think I will ever understand how a person seemingly happy and in control of their life can spiral into such a dark place. My ex's friend also told me that she never thought I would leave her after the affair. I think she felt a sense of control over me because of her high income. So, the affair had consequences that she didn't anticipate. I do hope she finds peace for my kids' sake. Other than some challenges due to the pandemic, things are great. I'm so glad I immediately ended my first marriage rather than dragging it out. I knew I was making the difficult decision, but that it was the right thing to do. Then I just grinded along. I have no problem inching a little forward every day, knowing eventually I will get through. If you are in this situation, you need to think about things in the long term. You might feel devastated at first, then sad, then depressed, then hopeless. But no matter what, you push ahead, work out hard every day too. The key is to try to do one thing every day that improves you or adds to your skill set, not self-help stuff, but real skills. I got into making short films of the guys I train and learned about videography and editing, which has been a fun hobby. I read more books to learn about all sorts of things. I just tried to do something every day. Small things add up over time. You just need to make sure you are putting in the work and let yourself be patient. OP. A man with even a hint of self-respect would stay firm, and she is making it incredibly easy for you to make the choices you have made. I've followed your story from the beginning, and I think she could have very realistically turned it around and convinced you to reconcile. The only reason she's not with him now is that he ended it, not her. She wants her old life back, but seemingly didn't say anything about wanting you back. If she were serious, her actions would show it. She would have told the guy's wife. She would be working hard to find a new job or go to HR to arrange some sort of transfer. She would be in therapy. She would be investing in self-improvement instead of alcohol and random guys. She wouldn't even be acknowledging other men. She would gladly pay you alimony if it meant keeping the door open, allowing you to do what you love, be the best father you can be, and maintain the kids' standard of living when she doesn't have them. She would have cut the guy off completely the night you caught her texting in the other room. She would cut off any friend who knew about it and didn't inform you because they are not friends of the marriage. She would tell the kids it's her fault. She would inform friends and family and tell them you'll need their support. She would be doing so many things differently if she really wanted to earn her way back.